Peace and love, family. Let me make sure y'all can hear me today. Let me see if y'all can hear me today. How y'all doing today, family? The last time we met in these sacred groves, it was a wild roller coaster ride. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Let me see. Make sure y'all can hear me. Turn my mic up a little bit. Let me turn this up a little bit. Let me see, which one is that? That's number 1. That's number 2. All right. Check. Can y'all hear me? Sean, we ain't having no co-host, Sean. Ain't no co-host on here. Nah, buddy. Sean said, hey, if you don't want to take the shot, they can't take halfway through the shit. Sean, let me talk to Sean first. Hey, Sean. Sean, we ain't reaching 50K with this foolishness. Family, if y'all was here last time, allow me. Hold up. Let me make sure we got everything official here. Sean, are you there? Sean, are you there? Hey, Sean. Oh my goodness. Cryptonomics, where were you at? Where were you when I needed you, Cryptonomics? Oh man, I hope you all right over there, Cryptonomics. Maybe you can give us a report on what happened down there. But although you had an explosion, Cryptonomics, we had an explosion here too. On Morris Vanguard TV, Cryptonomics. I owe those who come to Morris World TV for superior content an apology. Janice Wilson, I'm big country, but I'm telling you what, I ain't gonna be no fool. I owe everybody apology, man. Crip, I owe everybody apology, man. I'm gonna talk like the old folks say. The good Lord ain't want you to see me that day, Crypto. The good Lord ain't want you to see me with that crypto. Sean. Oh my goodness. It was a mess. And I'm telling you, family, I need to formally apologize to you because I owe you better. And I apologize if you had your children in front of the screen, because I try to make sure that everybody can watch this. You know what I mean? And from here on out, you can't even step on the platform if you cuss. We got to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Crip, you seen it? Oh my goodness. We got to force the law in order to save the nation. We got to enforce it now. So you can't even come on here if you going to cuss. Ain't even a slip up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But let me tell you something, family. Even how bad it was, the upside of everything and the silver lining in everything is, you might say, well, what's the upside? The upside is, that's a testament of the condition that we are in psychologically. That's a facet of our community that really does exist. And it's not so much of the actions or even my response. It's the mentality that exists. And it's bad. the mentality that exists in our community, it's bad. And the thing is, people say, well, you know, you doing it for clickbait and da-da-da-da-da-da. Listen, everybody are adults. You know what I'm saying? Everybody are adults. Everybody make a decision to come on and express themselves. And I like a laugh every now and then, every now and again. But some stuff, the mentality of some stuff it's just bad. It just doesn't, at the end of the day, it's nothing to feel good about it if it does get 50,000 views, because it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really sad that the mentality that exists. And even if I played a part, then I'm talking about myself too. I'm not ruling out myself. You know what I'm saying? We all got work to do on ourselves to bring out our better self. See, that's one thing about the Morris Science Temple of America taught me, to take responsibility and you be in charge of bringing out your God self. You be in charge of that. And the only way that you can be in charge of bringing out your God self, you must recognize your devil self. You must recognize your lower self. You must recognize the part that you played. And the part that I played was not only facilitating, but also indulging. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, family, I formally apologize to the Moorish World TV audience, because I think you deserve better from me. All of that superb research, all of that. And I knew the train was going to go off the track. Don't get it twisted. I already knew. When you get Delta and you get a heated conversation, you know, I already expected that, but the way that it went, I really wasn't that didn't mesh right with my spirit. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, family, it's enough garbage out there. It's enough garbage. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna have fun with some things. Best believe I am. I'm still going to make fun of some things. Never forget that. But there's enough garbage out there, you know what I'm saying, to be making a contribution to the garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew the train was going to go off the track, but hey, it is what it is, family. So as the Arabs say, inshallah, Crypto say, I think Kendrick should be apologizing to you and Delta. Well, Kendrick formally sent me an apology behind the scenes, and I accept that. But I'm gonna do like the Arabian Arab do. Inshallah, it won't happen again. Inshallah. Inshallah. You better say, inshallah, we won't do that again. Honey, I have to use the bathroom. Inshallah. Y'all ever see Dr. Khalid Muhammad? He said, you run around like them Arabs. You want to be like the Arabs. Everything you do, you say, inshallah. I got to use the bathroom. Inshallah. I got to wipe my behind. Inshallah. Everything you do, you got to, inshallah. Shout out to Dr. Khalid Muhammad. R.I.P. to the soldier, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. But with that being said, family, I'm waiting on my guests to get up in here. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Make sure my guests get up in here. Send the link. He might be trying to get in here now, but family, we're going to talk about some good stuff tonight, family. So if you don't mind, y'all ready? Are y'all ready to get busy? Inshallah. Now that we get the Arab speaking brothers mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I'd like half my side. My Dix, she said this side that a kinfolk. Let me call my brother up. Let me see if he answers the phone. Because we get tired of him. Let me see if he answers the phone. He might answer the phone. Inshallah. Hey, listen, family. We gonna have a good show tonight. I want to know. Yeah, I got him. Is this my main man? Is this my brother?
Yo, what's up?
I'm live on Morris World TV, and the first thing somebody say is that Sinetta kinfolk. Sinetta, say what up to the Morris World TV audience.
What's going on, Morris World in the building? Sinetta is here. What's happening, King?
Hey, that's my brother. Y'all keep asking, is that my brother? That's my brother. When I was like, he was about 15, I was 10. We were in the basement. He was teaching me everything I know. Talk to him, Si.
Man, you already did. You already let him know what's going on.
Hey,
but anyway, yo, I'm glad to see you still up doing your thing. You know, I done turned you into a goddamn monster up on this joint right here. Ain't nobody trying to mess with you.
Hey, Si, I appreciate you. I just had to call you because every show that I do, as the numbers climb, they always mention Sinetta. Sinetta. Is that Sinetta, brother? Is that his brother? That's my brother.
They do the same thing to me, man. I don't know. I look way better than you, man. I don't know. They keep saying, man, them two look alike.
Hey.
I'm more handsome than you, brother.
Hey.
What are they talking about?
Hey, but at least my wife thinks I'm handsome now.
Hey, that's all that matters. That's all that counts.
Hey, Si, I'm calling you tomorrow because I'm on my way up top. I seen what you had, the ISUPK up there. Oh, my goodness, Si. Oh, Si. Oh.
You on your way up top. What you talking about?
I'm coming up this weekend, Si. We got to sit down, Si.
I called you yesterday because Malik Zulu called me, and we was trying to find out a date to get up there to Washington.
Well, bro, we gonna hook it up.
He said you was supposed to come, or he trying to get you to come too.
Well, we gonna see what we gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna call you tomorrow, all right?
All right, my brother. Peace out.
Peace out. So
it's slow, man.
It's slow.
You know I was in Chicago.
I seen you. I'm gonna talk to you about it tomorrow.
I was in the South. I was in the South. I was in the North. I was all over. Talk about I can't go nowhere.
I gave you a pass. I told the Moors to make sure you was all right.
Man, good looking out, brother. Good looking out, beloved.
Peace and love, Si. All
right, peace.
So that's Sinetta. That's my brother, family. I'm trying to tell you. That's my main man. I mean, no, you know, for real. For real, everywhere I go, people be asking me, is me and Sinetta brothers? You know what I'm saying? And we might as well be. You know, me and Sinetta over the years, we ain't fisticuff. We almost came to fisticuff a couple times. But, man, we done went back and forth with each other so many times. But let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Sinetta, many of us wouldn't be doing this social media thing as it relates to YouTube and live streaming or even posting videos as it relates to being conscious, because he is the godfather of this, and we should pay homage to that. You know what I'm saying? But many people may not like his content. Many people may love his content, but he is one who opened the door of this YouTube conscious thing. So, you know, I pay homage. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We taught in the Morris Scientific of America, honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long upon the earth land with the Lord thy God of law is given thee. You see what I'm talking about? We got to honor the father of a thing, honor the mother of a thing. You know what I mean? You ain't got to agree with everything they do, but I mean, you got to honor that. You know what I'm saying? Black vegan. I'm gonna stop screaming. Black vegan. I do. Black vegan say this man be screaming. Black vegan. I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna try to stop screaming. Black vegan. I can't help myself sometimes. Black vegan. They get me so hyper. I love the people, Black vegan. Black vegan. You won't believe this, though. Black vegan. Look. My father, right? God bless him, because he passed away a few years ago. My father used to yell just like this. And I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you our story before my guests come in. So me and my father, we used to go toe to toe. I mean, he yelled, I yelled. He yelled, I yelled. But it was all good. It was all good and fun. We talked every day, 3 times a day before he passed away. I talk about every day. Love my father. And But I didn't used to yell like this at one time. But one day, me and my father was working on this house, and I was doing the home improvement, and my father, he was just cleaning up so the house can be rented out. You know what I'm saying? And I made a mistake, and I drank. I ain't playing. I made a mistake, and I took he had, my father, like, he didn't mean it. He said, I had like a pineapple soda, and he said a small jar of Pine Sol next to the soda. I drank the soda. I thought I swallowed a little bit Pine Sol and said, spit it all out. From that day forth, my voice was raspy like my father's. And I told him, I said, you set me up. I had a nice, smooth radio voice. I had a Billy D. Williams voice, but you wanted my voice like yours, and so you did the switching bait. And ever since then, I've been yelling, and I've been yelling like my father. But that's all right. I'm gonna work on it, vegan. But anyway, anybody in here, are you taking the vaccine? Anybody? Anybody taking the vaccine? Anybody, press 1 if you're taking the vaccine. We're going to talk about this vaccine in a minute. If anybody taking it, are y'all scared? What you heard about the vaccine? You know what I'm saying? What you heard about the vaccine? Let me see where my guest's at. See where my guest's at, because I don't see him right now. Let me see. Any of y'all taking the vaccine? I'm seriously, I didn't used to yell like this, Crip. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody taking it? Well, let me tell you something. You know, what I want you to do is I want you to be sure to check the laws. Peace, boy. Did you get the link?
Let me check for it. Go ahead. See, I'm just walking in the door.
Okay, cool. Take your time. Take your time. It's in the messenger. It's not. So listen. All right. So first of all, family, what I want you to do is check the state laws about vaccines. You see what I'm saying? Because one thing that you have to understand is that there may be something in place that you may have to get prepared for. You follow what I'm saying? If I take the vaccine, I'm gonna say, you know what I mean? Listen, if you don't take the vaccine, you know there's some things in place. Let me ask anybody in here, what do you think this? Let me see if I can get somebody in here before we start the show while I wait on my guests. Would somebody come in for a minute? And maybe you can, no cussing, if somebody want to come in real quick. What do y'all think this vaccine is all about? Before I get into my position on it. If somebody want to come in, I just put the link in. What do y'all think this vaccine is really about? What is it all about? Anybody got any idea what it might be about? Because some people believe in taking the vaccine. I listened to D.L. Hughley, and D.L. Hughley said because he got sick that he is going to take the vaccine. But I'm looking over the internet and a lot of people saying that they're not going to take the vaccine. And so I'm asking myself, and I even talked to my wife about it. I was like, well, forget whether it's dangerous or not, or whether it's going to save people. Let's block that out for a minute. What is the objective if it is a conspiracy? What is the objective if it is a conspiracy? You follow what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking at real quick. Let's see what I want all the smoke I had to say. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
If there is a conspiracy, what is it concerning the vaccine? What you think?
Population control.
Population control. All right.
I know somebody who took it, bro.
All right. I want to bring you back later.
Yeah.
I want to bring you back later. I'm going to get Sean in here. I want to bring you back later. We're going to keep the show moving. I got a guest coming in a minute. He just getting home. So I'm going to bring you back later. So you can tell us about that story. All right.
All right, I got you.
All right. What up, Shasha?
No, I can't hear. Wait a minute.
Are you there, Shasha?
Hold on, right quick. We got a technical difficulty.
Yeah, I can hear you. I got my brother Terrain 7 in the building. That's my boy right there. How you doing, brother Islam? Islam, brother. So, brother, what do you, if it is a conspiracy? Because I don't want to say it is or it's not. I'll put my position out there because I want to be well balanced. You know, in the true sense of research, we want to be well balanced at our approach. But let's just say it is a conspiracy.
Islam, Grand Sheikh.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Why can't nobody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so if it is a conspiracy, what is the conspiracy? What's the point?
I think they're trying to change the DNA of the people. Islam. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you broke up just a little bit. Say it again, Tyrain.
Yeah, I believe that they trying to change the DNA of the people. I don't know, man. You know, I used to be into the whole reptilian agenda. You know, my man David Icke and all that. But you know, I don't know, man. I really feel like, you know, I saw a video where they saying I saw a video where they said it changes the DNA of the people, man, on some, you know, reptilian, you know, something crazy, man. They doing something with the DNA. I think they fooling with the people DNA. I think they
Man, your
fooling
mic
with
is
our
going in
DNA.
and out. Your mic going in and out. Somebody said the show is going up on this topic. so yeah. Sean, are you there while he work on his mic? So Sean in there. Now let me tell you something. This is a hot topic right here. So it's a lot of things that's going to be happening probably with this live stream. I wouldn't be surprised if it just drop off.
Yeah.
Brother Sean, what up, bro? That's crazy. That's crazy. We're gonna have a lot of interference, family. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of
How's it going?
Are you there, brother?
We got a delay.
But it's a strong delay.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, brother, after this delay right here, I'm asking you, what do you think it's all about? And then I'll go back to Terrain. So, family, we do got a delay.
Oh yeah, that delay's strong.
Man, it's a hard delay, family. They playing a lot. They playing a lot of games, man.
I think they got people trying to be on drugs. Gonna have people strong out.
Mama! Can you hear me? Brother Terrain, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, so you don't have much of delay. So what you were saying, your mic was breaking up.
Yeah, I was saying I believe it's they messing with the DNA, man. The whole reptilian agenda, man. These people messing with the original man's DNA. That's one of my theories.
And in messing with the DNA, what do you think? What do you think they're trying to do with the DNA? Like, what's the ultimate goal? Like we can deal with that right now. What's the ultimate goal in messing with the DNA?
Right. I don't know, man. I think it's just to change our DNA, because you know their DNA is not compatible with the sun, and just I don't know. I just feel like they messing with our DNA.
they try to make Frankenstein up in this demonstration.
Yeah. They turn us into zombies, man. We already gone, man.
Yeah, we showed up messed up. They want us gone for another 50,000 years.
Yeah, man. And they also got those nanotechnology, man. It might be something in it. You don't really know. I mean, without our own ability to test it, we just
Yeah, that's 100. That's 100. Sean, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, there goes Sean. So Sean, you back in. And Terrain, you might have to come out and come back in before we start the show. I'm waiting for, because you got to break up and you got to delay real hard too. If you want to say something else,
okay.
brother, come out and come back in. And brother Sean, hey, bro.
What's up?
Did you accept my apology, man?
For what?
For the last show I did.
Oh man, that was good. I liked that show.
Man, that thing was raggedy, Sean. That thing was raggedy as ever. But brother,
It went off subject a little bit, but it was all right.
I appreciate you, bro. Bro, you are kind and a gentleman, brother. You are my brother. Wakanda forever. Hey, bro, but what do you think this is all about? Because we didn't catch you really good.
No, I was all right though. But no, I'm thinking they got people gonna be having people strung out on drugs or something for real.
Like what type of drugs? A new crack or something? They already strung out on weed. They already like scissor. They already smoked dro pop pills, get the gangster on. What else they gonna do?
I don't know, man. I just don't know it, man.
Hey, we don't need, in certain segments of our community, we don't need no help with that.
No.
You ever see? I was talking about this on Facebook one time on my Facebook Live. I said, man, I never thought that I'd be riding down the highway 70 miles an hour. I don't smoke weed and smell weed in my car. Because everybody on the highway blowing dro.
Nah, though. I just don't trust it though, man. For real, man. They ain't did enough studies on that.
Yeah. I ain't going to go into it yet until the guests come in, but I appreciate you, good brother. Good looking out in the chat, bro.
Oh, no problem. You know.
Indeed. Peace and love, family. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this diatribe real quick, and we're gonna talk about it. So my brother said, Michael Connor said, look at the history of what the government has gave us. Then years later, you find out it was an experiment or something. And that's one thing that I say all the time. I always say this. I've always said that if we study history, we'll have a better perspective on what is happening today. You feel me? We will have a better perspective. And that means anything, just like this topic, no different than the GMJ topic. If we study history, there is no way humanly possible that we should all fall for the okie doke. But with that being said, I want to look at a few items here, right? And one of the first items that I want to look at, I don't know if y'all was able to see it or not, but one of the first items that I want to look at, family, is, have y'all seen that video of the sister? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Here you go.
Hi, I am a registered nurse in Nashville, Tennessee, and my name is Khalilah Mitchell. I'm reaching out to everyone about the COVID-19 vaccination. I recently took the COVID-19 vaccination. After the shot, I felt fine, but within 3 days, I went to the doctor because I had problems with my face. The whole left side of my face, actually. I have Bell palsy now. And as you can see, I can't smile. I'm trying to smile. I'm just kind of embarrassed at work. But I just want everyone to know that I think this vaccination is the worst thing ever. Hi, I am a registered nurse in Nashville, Tennessee.
I see that.
And my name is Khalilah Mitchell.
Now, family, when you look at something like that, how is it that we can overlook the possibility that something may not be copacetic with this? You know what I'm saying? I think for anybody, not just because let me show you. I want to show you. It's another video out there that is talking about the COVID-19 and I got the study. Parts of the study that I'm gonna talk about tonight. But the video out there is saying that there is nothing wrong with the vaccine and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's contradiction in the conversation. With that being said, let me bring the Assistant Grand Sheik of the Morris Temple of America in the building. That's my brother Akhenaten Salam Bey. That's my brother I was talking about the other night. I said, y'all want to learn something? I bring Akhenaten in here. Y'all want to learn something? And so here we go. We're going to learn today, brother. How is your sound? Can I hear you say something?
Islam, can you hear me, Grand Chief?
Islam, you sound real good, and you're looking good. You're looking good. That's right. Y'all want to learn up in here? Or y'all want foolishness? Now we can't go back to foolishness. I already apologized for the foolishness, so we got to move forward. We got to move forward. So, brother Akhenaten, let's get straight into it. If you, in fact, let me allow you to reintroduce yourself to our family here that may have not seen you in a while on Morris World TV. Islam, the floor is yours, brother.
Islam, Grand Chief, first of all, I rise, raise my thoughts to infinite wisdom, my highest plane of life, and give praise to Allah, honors to the Prophet, honors to all the holy divine prophets, true and divine prophets, honors to Marx's Messiah Garvey, and honors to each and every one of you under the sound of my voice, because we are taught that when man honors man, he honors Allah, and that what our forefathers and foremothers were, we are today. So when I honor you, I'm honoring your ancestors, because you're the ancestors who come again. And Grand Chief got to give double big up salute to you, the Morris Vanguard, who has the only leadership that really has stood up to every assault against the Morris Temple of America and the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. And I want to say big ups to you again, because if you notice, and I mentioned to you this earlier, but everybody, you know, they used to laugh at you, calling you, saying you created this invisible temple. The invisible temple. But look at everybody now. Because of COVID, though, you went off of divine inspiration to reach out to the people, to give them the truth and the true teachings. But because of COVID, now they try to duplicate what you already, as the pace setter, are doing right now, and people trying to catch up to what you've been doing to reach our people, using every means possible to reach our people. And you're doing it through Morris World TV, and then you got the other channel, Channel 7. So big ups to you, and I think everybody in the chat should give a big ups, a number one, and all that. And remember to subscribe to Morris World TV, because y'all know he bought it. He called it too, way before I did, about GMJ. Y'all can talk all you want, but he called it. And he had the guts in the face of so many oppositions and people criticizing him about coming after GMJ. But he wasn't coming after GMJ. He was coming after the truth and protecting our people, as he's obligated to do. So I just had to say that, Grand Chief. Honors to Morris World TV, and salute to you, brother.
And I got to add to that, you know, I'm still getting emails and messages from people who thanking me that I even covered Grandmaster Jay, because they was on the way down that dark tunnel.
That's right.
They were on the way down that dark. I'm talking about very influential, beautiful brothers and sisters whose intentions were very good. And for all those that are still in the idea that there is some liberating qualities in NFAC, I hope that y'all will come together and create a true NFAC without the
That's right.
That's what I would hope you do. I hope you will create something real,
That's
that
right.
you can trust and depend on. That when y'all show up in the neighborhood, the little children run and hug you. There's not a barrier between you. The old ladies start to clapping. That's right. And the regular everyday people that's up in the middle age and they ready to rock and roll, they say, how can I join? That's how that's supposed to happen. You don't need no barrier between you and your own people. You don't need the police to govern the relationship between your own people. You need you and the people to come together and make it happen. That's what it is. But brother, if you had to label what's going on with this COVID, like I don't doubt the concept that COVID is real in some respect. I do think it's over propagandized. However, there's a lot of lives being lost, and something is going on. If you can you please, from your perspective, give us some concept of what you think may be happening? All of these deaths, all of these, and I know I can go outside and I can feel the difference sometimes. Ain't no doubt about it. What do you think is going on, brother?
Well, Islam to that Grand Sheik, it's a myriad of things, and we got to understand that's how the low itself, that's how the system, it ain't just one thing, it's the multiple. In war, they don't just come at you in one angle. They might have one position to come at the enemy, but they come from all angles and in all directions, and we have to be wise enough or prepared enough to recognize those different areas. So it's layers to this. I hear people talk about population control, but that's nothing new, but how they do it might be what's new, how they do it. And I remember, Grand Sheik, you and I had conversation before about you were sensing some things that were in the air, and you just made mention of that. And, and I was challenged about that for a minute. You might remember that conversation. But now as the evidence speaks, and, I shared with you some evidence, this thing is really airborne. And we have to treat it on all levels of this. That is airborne, it's surface, born in that sense, when people touch or in some kind of way, if they are transmitting a virus. And we just have to understand and study the nature of RNA viruses and how they manipulate or how they enter the body. So, and in essence, this is nothing new. It's psychological warfare. That's one. When they have us doing social distancing, that compromises the immune system, right? When they have you wearing your mask, and that's taking you out of your nature, because remember, how do we breathe? It's the aspect of reciprocity. We breathe in the oxygen given off by the trees, but yet the trees is compromised, right? And then they're going to tell you not to go outside, which is further compromising it, because that process is necessary to breathe in the oxygen and give out the carbon dioxide. But now they have everybody wearing masks, even when you don't need it. I don't know how many times you've seen people riding around their cars and they got their mask on. And it's only them in the vehicle. And so that compromises your immune system. So that's going to play a part in escalating the health issues that we have. When you're not getting out, you're not getting the sun, right? That's a vital point. And they keep telling you vitamin D, right, is one of the factors that we need to counteract the coronavirus, right? but you depriving yourself of the sun, and they telling you to do that. So that's another angle that they coming in. And what does that do? That compromises your health. It compromises our social reality, how we traditionally or naturally socialize with one another. I hear people, even celebrities. I was listening to a couple of the broadcasts, and they talk about how they can't, how they feel depressed because they can't talk to their mother, their father, their children. Come on. So that's the other assault that is happening on a psychological level that precipitates down into how it impacts us and our immune system, which makes us even more vulnerable to any outside viruses, because now they already dealt with us on the inside. And I say this point, Grand Sheik, most people think that wars, that if you look in history, that the wars were won by the Europeans coming over who interacted and who usurped and murdered and killed Moors that were indigenous to America. They were indigenous to this land. Most people think it was warfare, physical warfare. But if you check the record, it was biological warfare.
Absolutely.
Check the record out.
When you look at the blankets that they were giving with the
smallpox
and all of that, yeah, and I try to tell people all the time, even when we get into back and forths on, sometimes it can get heated on Morris World TV on some topics. I tell people all the time, most wars are already won before the first shot is bust. Most wars,
that's right.
They've been won. They beat them wars back at the boardroom, and we need to wake up. We need to wake up and we need to be proactive. And this is why I say everybody in here after this show, you need to go and check the laws in your state as what it means to take the vaccine or opt out of not taking the vaccine. You really need to do that, because this is what people don't understand. The federal government can mandate something. The state normally adopts it, but it doesn't have to. The state mandates something. The federal government don't have to adopt it. It's two different things going on. What I mean is this. It's like the issue with gay marriages. Just because it's a state ordinance, or they want to call a law or whatever they want to call it, that don't mean that it's federal. Or if it's federal, it's like with the passing, and I'm chopping things up, so don't quote me on this, but what I'm saying, even it's like the passing of marijuana. Some states have legalized it, some state hasn't. And so if you are a Morris World TV viewer, then I have you on the side of intelligence. And so in your intelligence, I say, go to your computer that you got in your hand and see what the state says about that. Now, let me tell you what it says about it in Maryland real quick, if you will. In Maryland, it talks about, one second, if I can pull it up.
And as you bringing that up, Grand Sheik, that was an excellent point and analogy right there. I want to also say is that even the municipalities, they have their own ordinances and laws, and as long as they don't conflict with the state and the federal, they can put them in effect.
Absolutely. And so in Maryland, family, pardon me, in Maryland, let me show you in Maryland what they talk about. And I couldn't find the one that I really wanted, but this would suffice. In Maryland, it speaks about, and they're using vaccination for schools. But check what it says when you read on down the law that they put in there. It say any requirement for administration of pertussis vaccine shall consist of whatever. But when you go down, it talk about exceptions. Listen to this. Unless the Secretary of Health and Mental Hygiene declare an emergency or epidemic of disease, a child whose parent or guardian objects immunization on the ground that it conflicts with the parents or guardian bona fide religious belief and practices may not be required to present the physician's certification of immunization in order to be admitted to school. But the key word and the catchphrase of this is unless the Secretary of Health and Mental Hygiene declared an emergency or an epidemic. What are they calling this thing that's going on right now?
Mm-hmm.
They're putting things in place, and they have been for years, putting things in place to back you in the corner. And as we go on to this show, and this is why you need to go look at the state level, look at immunization for schools. That's the most important thing you have to look at, because the thing is, they made you you be abusive parent if you don't send your child to school, or if you don't have type of recourse for your child for learning. You see what I'm saying? So you can be determined a bad parent. So if you're not prepared for homeschooling because of a job, or you're not prepared to a charter school or some type of religious school, and they're not doing all them things, then you putting yourself in a corner. So everybody that's claiming that they're not taking the COVID-19, this is why I named this. Are you taking the COVID? Are you and your family taking the vaccine? Or if you don't, and what will happen? And so what I want to do is I want to enlighten you. I want to enlighten you to the points that, okay, now, if you can't do homeschooling because you have to go to work, now even your job, on the attorneys are looking at right now that jobs are being pressured to say, if you cannot get your employees to take the COVID vaccine, now you are subject to lawsuits because you're going to be liable for one who comes in without the vaccine infecting others. What do you have to say about that, brother?
Oh man, you right on target. I was just speaking with someone today where they were forced to fill out this form that they will take the vaccine, and in order for them to even take this position. So now look how this worked. Now, before they told you you can't go to work, and everybody was talking about this whole new stimulus, fighting for that stimulus check, right? But that was all part of it, right? Get people to a standpoint where they're so intimidated that they not making any money, right? So now they're in a desperate situation to get work, right? And in order to get work, you're going to have to sign a form to say that you will take the vaccination.
Absolutely. And you know what? My brother Mashane, Avid Morris, our World TV supporter, he said, I asked for religious exemptions. Well, in Maryland, they say if it's an epidemic, they don't have to accept that.
Exactly.
They say if it's an epidemic, they don't have to accept that. You know what I'm saying? And so what's the alternative? And I don't mean to bring y'all all the way into the Moorish world, but I don't have no choice right now. Prophet Ali told us do you want your own town? Do you want you want your own that? See, when you have your own, you don't got to play by somebody else's rules. In other words, you think the Amish worrying about it? They school their own children. You think the Amish worrying about going into a grocery store with the mask on? They grow their own food. They fill their stock up every year. This is why I'm a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because the goal is to be independent and on your own, even in the midst of the madness. And so in some states, even religion may be a problem for you unless you opt out. The only way he said it's a plan. The only way that you're going to have true, and I don't think it's going to go that far. I'm going to tell you, because too many people are rocked to sleep and they're going to go with the program. But they have an option just in case you don't go with the program. But before I turn it back over to my brother, the whole thing in a nutshell is that your only saving power is you and yours opting out of the system that you think you need. That means the grocery store. Yeah. Because it may come a time where the grocery store say you can't come in here unless you took the COVID-19. And we need to see proof.
Exactly. It's just about happening now. You know, people don't let you come in unless you have a mask on, right?
There you go. That's the training ground for the psychology.
Come on, that's it.
It's just like I said on Friday, when you start teaching your children that Santa Claus is coming down the chimney, when you start teaching your children that Easter bunnies having eggs, and when you start thinking that it's fun, only thing you're doing is preparing the mind to receive things like this. So when a lady told me today, she has a busted window in her house. She said, can you come tonight? I said, I can't come tonight. I can't come this evening, but I can come in tomorrow morning. She said, well, before you come, please just make sure I can show the text. She said, hold up.
I know you're going.
Listen, this is the psychology. This is the psychology. Listen to the psychology. She said, please. She said, COVID-19 does not allow people from going out of their normal business. When you come to work for me, you should have your mask. You should have your shoe cover. While I also have my own mask on my face for the period you are here to do my work, which may not take long. Please call me for us to schedule time to do the work. Now, I hadn't even agreed to do no work for her. But before I found out later that, she had to work and you're supposed to have your mask. I get that. I ain't going, just because out of respect and whatever people's position is. But
that's right.
It's 30 degrees in Baltimore. I need somebody to fix my window. I need my window fixed and I need it now. But the first thing she says, because of COVID, your mask, your shoes, can you come and do this work for me? I had to call her, but it shows you that the psychology, just what you was talking about, more the preparation of it. But now, we know that this is real to some degree, no matter how big or how small. Do you think that the mask gives some protection?
Not now. No, not with this is airborne situation. Traditionally they thought, first of all, most people are not wearing the correct mask, right? That's number one. They're not wearing the N95 grade and above. They're not doing that. Most of them not. They got this little.
They're wearing sheets, cut up sheets.
That and those little cheap masks that you can buy for $1 or so. That's not going to do it.
99 cents.
You're right.
I got a few up too.
Hey, that's why at Grand Chic, like you, in my business, I had to make sure some of my crew had it. You know what I mean? So I had to keep some on the side and for myself, because of certain environments like that, right? But they're cheap. They're no good. They don't keep you protected. And so most of the time when they first started off with this, they couldn't tell you whether it was airborne or anything like that, right? It said mostly it was droplets. So that's like, people spitting on you when they talk, what's happening a lot. and people sweat and they're rubbing their face and, and then, touching hands and things like that. But no, in answer to your question, the short answer, the masks are not going to do it. And I said this before. In many cases, they enhance your ability to catch it. Why? Most of the time, Grand Sheik, and you know this, people got the masks on and they carry them with them and they use them over and over again. So that means it's contaminated, right? What happens in a medical environment? They take them after it's used, they dispose of them, right? That's not what's happening.
Hey, bro, I'm so crazy that I didn't one time remember I used mine, right? And I made a mistake and put it on backwards.
Hey, me too.
That thing. About me now, I don't want to encourage anybody not to be safe, because that's not what I'm here for. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't panic demic. I just don't panic. I
right.
But I would encourage everybody to continue to be safe, because there is something that is I don't think is identified properly, whatever it is. But I think there is people who do know what it is, but I just don't think it's identified properly. With that being,
and Grand Sheik, we got to take in consideration of mutation.
Absolutely. My thing is this: I was watching because no different than with the Grandmaster Jay conversation that started back in somewhere around February or March. This also started around the same time. So I've been watching this just as well as I've been watching that. And one thing that I notice is, in family, you can look this up if you want to. In the beginning, all eyes was on New York City. And it was about the people that was going. I mean, when they started talking about when they was coming from China, all eyes was on New York City. And when they was talking about the people that was going into the hospital, they had a 90%. Listen to me. They had a 90%. And let me just give or take and say 80 to 90%, just so I can have some wiggle room in case somebody want to quote me. When it first started hitting hard, they had an 80 to 90% death rate with those came into the hospital and got on ventilators in New York City. And now studies show that when they put people on the ventilators, that for some reason because they say when COVID happened, it's hard to breathe. It's one of the things that your chest get tight. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to breathe. Feel like you might having a light asthma attack or something like that. And that's one of the symptoms amongst quite a few. But they said when they put the people on a ventilation machine, what happened was the body quickly became dependent upon the machine. Now, what in the world is that? That the body, now you know and I know that the body adapts fairly easy, but it takes a little time to adapt to certain situation. Even a cut on a hand, it takes the body a minute to adapt to the pain. You know what I'm saying? But they said that the body needed the machine, and that the moment that they took the people off the machine, it was a matter of time and the people expired. You feel what I'm saying? So it sounds like something deeper than what we're being told, because you never heard of the body adapting or even adopting a method like that for a virus. Not like that. You know, you can see people with asthma, they on an asthma pump or things like that. But this is some heavy stuff. So the point that I'm making is, when you look at it in today's time, now many people, let me show you these, and then my brother will speak on it. Let me show you in these reports, right? 1 second. In these reports, it speaks about, 1 second. It speaks about how, let me screen share real quick. Give me 1 second. Oh, okay, I got that real quick. In this report, it actually speaks. This is the diagram I'm about to show you real quick. So in this diagram, and this is from Alan Hogan Statistics. In this diagram, you know, from March 2020 to September 2020, this talks about the patients that were on ventilators. Y'all see this? Let me make sure y'all see. So one of the things that I would ask is, if you know that majority of people are dying once you put them on ventilators, why did they continue to put people on ventilators? They knew this early on. They knew this like in the summertime, and they continued all the way up. Even today, they are still putting people on ventilators. Do you know in Detroit, they were saying that they had bodies stacked up on top of each other from ventilators. These was all, I'm gonna read the report in a minute, but these was all people that was on ventilators. So what is the alternative to survival when the world is moving towards, if you do not take the COVID, then you cannot participate in the normal things that you're normally used to participating for in this society? What is the alternative? What do you do?
Yeah.
So somebody
Well,
said,
you're right.
That's
I'm
right.
looking at it.
Michael Connor said, why all the black people that was watching it by the thousand in the streets ain't got COVID? And let me tell you something, Michael Connor. I was at the height of COVID. They were having a protest for, who was it?
I think it was George Floyd. Was it George or Breonna?
George Floyd and Breonna here in Baltimore. And you had people in the crowd giving out face masks. I was like, I'm good.
That's right.
Nah. But the thing is, all of these crowds, and the next day, and I said to my wife, I said, now we should have within 14 days the doors at the hospitals kicked down. I mean, it should be mobs of people at the hospitals. Mobs. But that didn't happen. So what is going on, Brother Akhenaten?
Hey, like I said, you know, it's hard for us to pinpoint it in one specific area, Grand Sheik. And the other thing is, even though all those people were out there, we still don't know the effects of that. If you know what I'm saying, you know, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. All those people that out there marching. I've heard of a few people, because I'm around a lot of activists, that got COVID. Now, you think they're going to broadcast that on mainstream? No, they ain't going to make those associations with it. But I know a few of the activists that are very active, and they're talking about it. Then you got to know, I've talked to doctors and nurses and Grand Sheik. They living in a house with a family member that has COVID, right? I know some that's sleeping because they're husband and wife with one that are COVID, and they don't get it, right? So again, it's a lot of things that's going on, but I think now, Grand Sheik, as you know, the Moors during the Dark Ages, you know, it was always said, we see in The Stolen Legacy by G.M. James, he said the Moors were the custodians of the ancient Egyptian mystery system, right? And it's evident because of the things that we brought as Moors went from West Africa and North Africa and then went over in Europe during the Dark Ages when there were bubonic plagues, black plagues. I mean, it was so many plagues that they were having, and we were using science to be able to eradicate those things. We knew how to use natural things to sanitize the area. They weren't used to water or anything like that, you know, running water, which we know is important, not stagnant water. And so the time is, again, we have to look to technology, just like they're using technology, the quote unquote scientists and all that, they're using technology, even as they did, as I said before, with biological warfare that most people know about. And this is not the only one, but most people know about the smallpox, as you mentioned, the giving the blankets to our people over here. We know about the Tuskegee 626, the experimentation on our people, right? These are many things that they're doing. So we have to do all that we can and utilize technology. That's what I've been promoting, not sitting around being victims. Because you either be a volunteer to be a victim or a victor. And we have to make that decision right now. And most of us are victims because we accepted the mentality that all this intimidation and that we can't do anything about it. So I remember Grand Chief, you know, we had a show. Everybody was concerned about the 5G and what to do with it. They used to say the 5G was the one that's really causing the COVID, right? And they were right in part, you know, because we know that any exposure to some of the 5G is it's EMF, it's electromagnetic fields that are erratic and disruptive to the immune system, right? So the thing is, we also talked about what things we can do, certain herbal formulas, certain way we eat. So these are things we have control over. And then the next thing is like what you said, you know, the ultimate thing is, how many times have the prophets of old or the prophecies of old kept telling us, get out of her, my people, right? That's a mental aspect, you know, that moves the people to separate themselves. And the idea that you talked about, that the prophet Noble Jew Ali has said that the Morris Science Temple had lost their way from that which the prophet had laid out. And that's why I honor you for acknowledging that and putting us on a path to reclaim that which the prophet said. Because we wouldn't even be worried about this if we were employing ourselves, if we had our own resource of agriculture, our own economy, and our own land and jurisdiction. You know, I looked at many people, and those who are familiar with Atlanta, those people who are in Atlanta know that there's been a couple jurisdictions, new towns that were created in the midst of other jurisdictions. New towns. You know, we got one that just recently, South Fulton City. It was a county at one point, but they carved out their own jurisdiction, right? Now, that's just showing you what the possibilities are. You got another one, I think it's the sister that's a mayor, that's Stonecrest area, right in the midst of another city. They created another jurisdiction. So what is that saying? This is the power in what Prophet Noble Jew Ali was saying, that if you want your own town, your own mayor, your own sheriff, your own police, a lot of these things we wouldn't be talking about right now if we had our own, not worrying about what the police is doing in terms of their assault and terrorism that's being played off by the police in our own neighborhood. Those are things we have to talk about. We have to bring resolution to it now, because they're going to do what they're going to do. But what is our response to it? That's what we have to deal with.
Now, before we get into the next segment of this and talk about our response to how we deal with it on a health level, I want to touch on two more things because you just brought something to mind. It appears to me, and it seems to me, and it's very evident to me that we are still in the slave state of mind. In other words, we're so dependent upon this system to provide for us that when we can't go into the system by the rules that they make, we feel that we got a short end of the stick. And I'm talking about like the grocery store or the school, or sure, we are taxpayers. Sure, we have a voice, but we are voiceless when we are not connected as one. You know what I'm saying? Like one voice ain't will do nothing. Everyone got to be one voice, one aim, one destiny, one God. You know, before I move into the next segment, I just want to make sure I use this hammer and let everybody know that, family, I want you all to prepare yourself. One of the campaigns that I'm gonna be doing this spring is monetize your life. Monetize your life. Let me give a shout out to my brother. Let me give my shout out to my brother Michael Connor. All those who always support financially. If I miss your name, please don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my mind. I'm getting old a little bit, I think, maybe. No, I ain't getting old. My brother, me Nugent,
don't claim that.
me Nugent, Sister Dolores, and all of those who extend a part of their financial a part of their financial self into supporting Morris World TV. I mean, we have some faithful supporters here, and many of them don't even want to be called out. But I'm gonna call you out too, Sean. Many of them don't want to be called out because it's all out of love, and they appreciate what's going on here on Morris World TV. And I just want to say I humbly thank you, because your financial contributions give me the ability to take some time away from somewhere else where I could be making money and say, hold up, forget that for a second. Let me go ahead and do this research. Let me put this together over here, because guess what? Somebody made a financial contribution, so I can let that little bit of money go over their past. So I just want to officially say thank you for all your support. My brother Nugent and Connor and Sean and Dolores and Sonny Boxing and everybody. If I miss your name, don't charge it to my heart, family. Breathe. So with that being said, I also want to share this with you, family, that and as we speak about financial contributions, I want to make sure that you understand that at some point you're going to have to really fund your own life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to fund your own life, because at some point, you're going to have to get some digital currency. As you can see, have you ever thought about, I was talking to my cousin today, and hopefully he's watching now. Have you ever thought about that? You ever thought that you would be able to order food from McDonald's to come to your door? I knew the game was over when they started bottling water and selling it. See, if I'm 47, so at this time in my life, I can look back and say, I remember when we used to go to the spigot. I remember when we used to cup our hands. I remember when we used to drink out the faucet, and mother said, "Get a cup." I remember that. So I remember the transition from doing that to a bottle of water. When they can bottle water and sell it to you, you know the game is going to change.
Real tough.
Now we are in a place where as though we don't even hold our own future in our hand. And even when you look at jobs, I'm about to read something real quick. Even when you look at your job, if you're working for somebody right now, work on a second income, a third income, a fourth income. I'm ready to start pushing some things of that nature so people can learn about the historical aspect of the Morris Science Temple of America. I'm about to move off of YouTube and go to a channel where people will make financial contributions to some of the more deeper research and content, because if I put it on here, they're going to take it down anyway. This video might not even be up for that long.
That's right.
So it is what it is. But let me share this real quick, family. Coming up, family, we're going to have to do something, because these are the reports. These are not literally to be taken as if it's the law, but these are the reports. Employment in the United States, right? It says is generally at will, which means that your employer can set working conditions. It says Dorit Reese, a law professor at the University of California, Hastings, who specializes in legal and policy issues related to vaccines. Certainly, employers can set health and safety work conditions with a few limits. These restrictions generally are tied to Federal Americans with Disabilities Act and Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. If employees have medical reasons or sincerely held religious belief that prevent them from taking potential coronavirus vaccine, employers can be legally required to give workers some reasonable alternative to continue work, Reese says. Now, let's stop right there for a second. Oh, no, let's go. So also it says the EEOC, which is the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, guidance notes that even if an employee finds that a worker who cannot be vaccinated due to disability poses a risk to the workplace, the employer cannot exclude the employee from the job or take any other action unless there is no way to provide reasonable accommodations that will reduce the risk to others. That might be wearing a mask. So you always see that caveat, unless or maybe or this, that, and the third. And so my thing to you, watching on Morris World TV, is that you need to begin to prepare yourself. I don't care if you can juggle. Put on your phone and do like this and say, "Come on, hit the Cash App, do something." Because if you're punching the clock for somebody, I truly see it coming down that it's going to be a struggle if they have to turn up, if they have to pump up the volume. It's definitely going to be a struggle. You follow what I'm saying? So, family, you need to consider that. That's what this show is about. When I say, will you take the vaccine? And if you don't take the vaccine, what will happen? When I'm telling you, if you're going to take it, I'm not one to say don't. I'm not one to say do. That ain't my position. My position is I believe that all of us are grown and we have good sense. If you're watching Morris World TV, I count you to be intelligent. So with that being said, so Brother Akhenaten, I also wanted to point out, I think there's one more thing I wanted to point out is I remember that, oh, here we go. Let me put on this brother real quick, and then I'm gonna go into my next drop. Hold up. So this guy here, hopefully y'all can hear it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but this guy here, hopefully y'all can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it.
Is following the anti-vaccination campaign. Allahu Akbar. May Allah bless you. May Allah have mercy. I've just spent a few hours.
Yeah, it's a little low.
And some activists from up north of England. May Allah bless them with Jannah for those I keep saying.
Hold on one second.
So Alhamdulillah, one of these doctors who was the Bima video that Brother Rizwan Muhammad from Nottingham did against Dr.
Hold up, let me get the volume up a little bit. Now this guy is talking about some research. Let me get the volume up a little bit. They didn't mess with my volume. 1 second. They done got my volume messed up. Hold on. Give me 1 second. How did I get my volume? Grandmaster J, you up in here? Get on out my computer. I got things to do. Brother Akhenaten, what have you been doing to if you will, stay safe?
Islam. Yeah, just creating what I call safe spaces. And before I go into that, Grant, I just want to just really underscore what you're saying. The intent of this particular program is, sounding out that last, alarm, so to speak. We've been talking about this a minute now, and it's like the last alarm, to let people know that, if you're not prepared, you better be prepared. And you hit on quite a few things, particularly the economic piece. And, that economic piece is impactful. One of the things that Prophet Noble Jew Ali said, that the problems largely in life are economical and social and economic. And we can see that playing out right now, that when we are first mental slaves, we slip on over easily to being economical slaves and even social slaves. How is a social slave? They regulate how we interact with one another. And that happens with many layers, like how we treat each other, not only just how we, are in close proximity with each other, but how we treat each other. And that's all a part of a psychological experiments that's been going on for years, of how you intimidate people, how do you get them emotionally disturbed or stressed out, and how they're going to play it out on each other, not the enemy, but on each other. And the economic piece then goes to, we become economical slaves because we're dependent, as you just articulated and laid out. We become economical slaves to them, where they dictate to us what and how we act, or how we even make resources or money. And then the political slave, because we're not working together. We don't understand the power that we possess in the political power. Even if we looked at the measuring stick from some years ago, where we had some semblance of political power and we got results as a result of that. We don't study those things. We don't have an institution that reinforces those aspects. So it is important for us, and this is why the Morris Science Temple of America, I know people think about it, but this is the only one that I know as far as the institution from a holistic standpoint. If we put in the plans that the Prophet Noble Jew Ali had already laid out, the foundations there, we just have to build on it. And you're addressing those things here. So again, those things that you were talking about, I'm making preparations. You and I talked about, and as us, as the Morris Science Temple of America, that's developing a Moorish American modern society where we depend on each other, where we get our land and begin to utilize the resources. The greatest resources among ourselves is ourselves. So we're discovering people that have so much talent, people in agriculture that are farmers and can teach us about even urban farming. And the list goes on in terms of people that are prepared to do what we can do. So some of the things
Brother, before
yes, sir.
you go on, I wanted to say this. I wanted to ask you this to add into before we close out this segment, and then talk about, 1 second, we got an echo. Okay, 1 second. I wanted to, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wanted to go into real quick, add to what you're talking about. Because the way that this is going, And we as a group of people, we so focus on our people, but this seems like something that is going after the no-nots and the have-nots. This doesn't seem like it's coming for what the public was trying to characterize as so-called black people or Moorish people. You know what I mean? This is coming after whomever don't know. You know?
That's right.
And so for the Europeans in the audience right here, this is not I want everybody to know that I don't cry victim. This show is about informing you to prepare yourself to either come out of her or find a way to manage yourself in her. My objective is to come out of her. That's what it is. That's my objective. Now, but I don't know what yours is. But even if you of European descent, because we know we have Europeans in here.
That's right.
That watch this show. You know, we had a couple of them come on in the comment section. So, brother, can you touch on that a little bit?
No, I'm glad you touched on that, Grant. You know, because we know, because as we're taught in the Moorish Science Temple, we know it's about the rich and the poor, you know, and the rulers and the rich that rule. I'm glad you mentioned that because the two reasons. Most people don't recognize that when it comes to the Moors, we've always set up a cosmopolitan kind of a society or environment. We never had that kind of, you know, when we were flourishing and being our true selves and being the best of ourselves, we didn't have those kind of prejudices like that where we were against another because of the complexion of the skin. Why did I say that? Even looking back during the so-called Reconstruction era, the time periods like Wilmington, North Carolina, great example, right? You had us as a people who were in control, and they don't like to talk about that, but that was an area that there was a coup d'etat on a particular element that didn't want to see us flourish. And we had people of melanin complexion as well as quote unquote European that worked together. And it was certain elements that didn't want that to happen. And these people who were European, quote unquote European, they didn't have a problem either with us being and finding ourselves in political or economic power. That's on the record. Now, fast forward. One of the people that many don't really talk about, the ideals that he had that come out of, you know, you talk about the NFAC, right? Or the New Black Panthers, right? But when we look at the model, the original model of the original Black Panthers, they had a whole different platform than it was that is projected out here. And one of the key factors is if we look at a young brother who they zeroed in on real quickly because of his ability to speak truth to power, not only to us melanated people, but also to Europeans. And that is brother Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton, he spoke to them and they responded. Even so much so, a lot of people don't know about this story. Fred Hampton was in jail one time. And the so-called hillbillies went down there and told him to release Fred Hampton out. Most people don't know that story. So as you speak to, this is not something we have to talk about us, right? And anything else, because the Moors, being who we are, we're supposed to be the guiders of the nation, right? We become the light of the world. And everybody came to us. So our focus, we just talk a lot about ourselves because this is what we can deal with immediately because this is who we interact with on a daily basis majoritively. And we have a special condition that's happening with us mentally. And so we have to deal with that. But when we speak, we're based on the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And the principles that we espouse or any information that we are about is uplifting fallen humanity. It's uplifting anyone who has the right mindset of the principles basically on love. So you asked me about what are we doing? What am I doing? And this is for everybody, because I'm found, people invite me to speak, as a wellness coach. And a lot of times, Grand Chief, you notice, it's unfortunate that many of them are not my people that I would like to reach who needs it the most. And so they would call on me, and I would speak to people about health and wellness from the holistic perspective. So we at the Morris Scientific of America, as Morris American Muslim healers and alchemists, we are what we call the quantum wellness coaches and practitioners. And so some of the things I want you to just think about, I'm gonna just deal with the basics. Some of it I already touched on, but let me just set the framework for a minute. Because again, we're being assaulted from all ends, all areas. So we have to deal with it holistically to create that safe space for us. So first, I always ask people, you could do without food for long periods of time. People do fasting. Some people can do without water for a pretty good length of time, maybe not as long as food. But many people can't do without air for even a short amount of time. Some people can hold their breath maybe for about a minute or so, right? And we definitely can't do without sunshine for even a moment. So when we look at those levels, we have to look at it from a holistic perspective. We know that if we're not eating pure foods, it's going to compromise our immune system, which makes us vulnerable and more susceptible to the COVID or any type of virus. If you notice, all the people that's been dealing with COVID, they already had issues that have already compromised their immune system. Whereas others who did get the COVID, quote unquote, they were able to shake it off maybe in 3 or 4 days, and some in a day. Some people may have even had it and was able to release it in just a day. So food is so important, and we talk about different things. And Grand Chief, for years I've been an advocate of live, raw, vegan foods. I know everybody's not gonna go there like that, but at least I share with them means of eating good quality food, the best organic food, even if you're a carnivore. And you're really not a carnivore, because that's a whole nother thing. Because if you eat things that are dead, that's not a carnivore. That's a scavenger. But that's another level. But food is important. And so I teach people and coach them how to, if you even eat meat, get the best quality, free range meat, and then getting the best fruits, vegetables, a lot of green vegetables. There's a whole lot of things that I do that are super oxide.
Man, hold up, brother. Black Warrior Spirit said I ate a gumbo with pork hot link sauce today. I feel guilty now. Come on, man. I love you, Black Warrior Spirit. Go ahead, bro. I had to point that out. That's my brother. Bro, you're still home, brother. You're gonna
That's right.
You're gonna work on it.
Hey, that's right. Honest, he's able to at least acknowledge where he was at, right? That's where it starts. Integrity, man, is to be honest where you at, because you can go somewhere if you at least there.
That's why I love our Morris World TV audience, brother. But hey, while you carrying on, I want to share with them so we don't have this video go too long. Is that with Brother Akhenaten now, and hold your thought, my brother, but I want you to add on to your thought with what I'm about to add to it. This is the Akhenaten Salam Bay show tonight. So I seen, and I asked you about it. I don't know much about it because I'm gonna tell you one thing about Akhenaten. This is family. This is the national assistant of the Morris Science Temple of America, and we work close together. But we also have so much going on that the information that he's about to share right now is also new to me, as it is to you. But what I've seen he was doing, let me maybe I can give you some perspective. The Morris Science Temple of America works like each temple works like an embassy, works like a state unto itself, and each temple are supposed to have, and we're working towards, each temple should have a school, they should have a grocery, they should have all the bells and whistles that it takes to sustain the community. It's just not a temple like we're going to go in there and sing and jump around and have good time. That ain't what that is. Yes, we do have Holy Day on Friday, but it's supposed to encompass all the aspects of life. And so a lot of things that one temple may do, another temple may not be privy to the deeper details, although we're aware. And what I am aware of is that Brother Akhenaten, he, I think it's some sort of type of breathing machine, cleansing machine, something like this, but he's going to explain it to us. But what I'll do is I'll show you what I seen, and then we'll let him get into that with his conversation. On his Facebook page, and I'm going to go to his Facebook page. He might say something later, but I gotta go there anyway. So on his Facebook page, he's talking about this scientific proof, scientific testing demonstrating the use of AccuPure technology substantially reduce airborne and surface contaminants. Here's a study that I promised about pathogens being killed on not only doorknobs, but light switches, TV remotes, desktops by the unit I'm introducing. So he's talking about this unit. Let me see. Hold on one second. Make your own safe space, sanitize, sustainability with the AccuPure technology. And so I want to get into this for a second, bro, because it said make your own space, sanitize, sustainability, act the same thing. It says but let me just read this part real quick. It says the Aeris hydroblaster with an AccuPure technology was tested with live SARS-CoV-2 virus Washington isolate strain on surface by Mary Goebel, an independent FDA compliant laboratory, et cetera, et cetera. Surface kill rate 99.98%. Surface kill rate of live COVID-19 after 7 hours of installation. Surface kill rate of 98%. Surface kill rate of live COVID-19 after 6 hours of installation. 93% of the COVID-19 after 3 hours of installation. So this machine that you're pushing right now, and that you I think you even have. Hold up one second. Give me 1 second. I seen something too. Right here. Here we go. Give me one more second. Bear with me.
And also, Grand Sheik, if you get a chance to in your email, you probably see some things I sent to you. And I'm excited about this machine because of technology. As I said, the Moors were always about science. That's what we call it, Moors science, on the different levels and technology. Yeah, that's the one I want you to say. That's on my website.
I'm trying to load him up so you can give us some explanation of what this is. 1 second.
And as you do that, because I was leading to that, and as you pull that up, right, I was just sharing how you got to have pure food, right? But remember, I said you could do without food for a minute. We need water. And so our water must be pure. And I'm an advocate of having pure water. And then I said about air. Many of us walking around with those masks on, and we're not getting good quality air. Then when we come into our homes, we don't realize the paint on our wall, the carpets that we have, the floors with the chemicals on it. We're getting exposed to that. Not to mention the viruses that we bring in the house. Many of us don't take off our shoes or clothes when we come in the house, and we bring a lot of energy in bacteria and pathogens with us. So that's why one of the reasons why we take off our shoes and we clean. We have a habit of as Muslims to wash our hands, sanitize. That ain't nothing new to us. But then when we talk about the air, if you're not dealing with the air that we breathe in our homes, we don't realize sometimes there are mold and pathogens that are in our homes. And if we're not getting pure air, guess what happens? You become the filter. Your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, and your skin, because we breathe out of the skin. The largest largest organ that's an eliminator of toxins. So we have to have it is important for us, since we know air is so important right now, and I'm realizing it like never before, especially because we know, and as you just read, that the SARS-CoV virus that causes the COVID-19 is airborne. And so like we started off, you recognize there's certain things in the air. I had an experience just yesterday that someone came in to an area where I had the purifier. Didn't realize it was off, and they had this smell on them. Well, without hitting, because I love the brother, and you know how Morris Science Temple of America, Grand Chief, we open ourselves to our people. We don't care who you are, what condition that you come in. We want you to come in the temple. So we're gonna have people that are chemically laden, whether it's from marijuana or whether it's from alcohol, and some people come in, and that's what we hear, because that's what they're looking for. They're suffering, and we are there as the Morris Science Temple of America members to bring that love to them and to let them know you can come on in so you can get purified on many levels. But my point is, that person had an odor that was coming out of their pores, and once we realized it, I turned the purifier on, and in just minutes, it might have been almost seconds, you could just, the air was just so pristine then, because I was wondering, like, what is that smell? And then all of a sudden it was brought to my attention, oh, the machine is off. And we put that on. That right there let me know it was more assuring. And that's what we want to do for people, whether you're in your home, because charity begins at home. And I want to make sure, do everything I can to inspire people to at least make sure your home is safe from pathogens. I'm going to tell you about the technology in a minute, but that's what we have to do. Then if you have a business, we see how businesses have been shut down and people themselves are scared to go over other people's houses. This is some of, I'm sure y'all experience too. Even with relatives, they are afraid for you to come because they don't know what you brought. I went to my sister's house. She was real intimidated, you know. And stores, we go in. So we want to make sure our patrons feel secure when they come in. Once they understand this technology is in their place of business. Schools, we need that for our students and the teachers to feel comfortable in the environment. So I need you to help us out to get this out. And Grand Chief, I don't know if you know this, but you are debuting this before anybody else, and particularly before mainstream. I just got word that tomorrow on a major television program, one of my colleagues is going to talk about this technology. So it's important for me and passionate that we have it exposed to let's say the lay people, because most of the time the people that get it is the people that need, the people that get it is the ones that can access this information because it's available to them. So I'm gonna make sure it's out to our people to get it. So that what you see on the screen is that seal of sanitized, what I like to call the seal of sanitized sustainability. I like that sustainability because that's what it does. It sustains the air by changing the molecules, using the air and molecules and transforming those into an active hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, and we know that that has a significant kill rate on viruses. So this is what it's doing. It covers over 3,000 feet is that machine that you showed. And we want people to be able to put that seal on their businesses or on their homes, or when you know that you coming home, like I feel comfortable when I come home after dealing with so many people, and many of us, like in our business, Grand Chief, we deal with a lot of people as divine ministers, as contractors. That's what we deal with. So that there shows that those two slides were showing you that it kills the SARS-CoV-2 and other pathogens. And this was done in a laboratory that is FDA laboratory that the CDC uses, right? Technology that the space agency and the NASA uses. And look what it says, it kills in 3 minutes. That was the new report last week that I shared with everybody. It's posted in, I think it was the New York Times, Washington Post, and many of the APC have gotten it, right? The Associated Press, they got it. And it's talking about how it kills in the air. 3 minutes, it kills this SARS-CoV virus. And then if you treat it, I had different graphs that I can show you, and I can invite people to an event where you'll see it, you know, in a more in-depth aspect. And you can go to my website, akhenatenbay.com, and I have some links there where you can go and trace and see some of the stats of all types of viruses and pathogens that this unit takes care of. And so after it's treated for 30 minutes, right, you can leave, and within 7 hours, you still, after the unit is turned off, you still have the penetrating effect. This is not like passive filters that are out there. This is an active, that's why we call it active pure technology, because it converts the air and the molecules, and in that effect, it includes radionics, and so it penetrates walls. It penetrates, it not only sanitizes the air, but the surface too. So, you know, when you go into places of business and they're constantly wiping to sanitize the doorknobs, the counter, this is doing it automatically through this machine. And as long as you got that on, that's what I call sanitized sustainability. That's a key thing to get ahead of the curve of what we are dealing with now, because it's not going to stop. And even if somebody say, well, these things shift and change, and, you know, well, what about what happens a year from now? This is why we're talking about. You must be defensive. This is proactive. Now you're making sure that your air and your surfaces are treated. So without going into more depth of that technology, that's what I'm doing, Grand Chief. That's my, you know, that's important. I was able to deal with things. I felt pretty good about some of the superfoods that I take, like the super greens, kombucha, the spirulina, and all that we talked about before, and certain herbs. That's on the nutritional and herbal level. But then I had to worry about my water, the quality of water, making sure it's alkaline water, and then my air. So now this was my solution, the answer that came that benefited me, and I want to make sure that our community gets this information and gets access to it. It's portable, All you gotta do is plug it in. It ain't nothing you gotta do with your air filters or anything like that. So imagine how many people, when you have a 3,000 square foot that this is taken care of, and you can feel comfortable, your children feel comfortable. I have people in my family that the air just feels better. They've been suffering from asthma and diseases like that, and they feel so much better, man. That's the testimonies I'm getting.
I'm sitting up here taking it all in because, like, this is the first time that I've had a chance to really take a break to really listen to about it. I see that you be out and about pushing this 2-hour community to try to get them, as you say, ahead of the curve to get, you know what I mean? And now it's about to go mainstream on a lot of these. I think you sent me something that's about to be on one of them bird channels, I think.
Yep.
I think it's going to be on, let me see. Yep, it's going to be
I didn't want to give them no play on Morris World unless they're going to pay you.
Yeah. It's going to be on one of them bird channels. And so I'm glad, and I didn't even know that, like you said, we always above, we always the guidance of the nation. We always ahead of things. And I just thought that because we're talking about this, and I seen you do something on Facebook, you was going live and you was talking about it. You and our beautiful sister, Latte May. Man, I was giving that demonstration up, but I'm so busy that I'm listening, but I'm really not taking it all in. So just like the audience here, I'm really learning about it for the first time, and I'm trying to. I need one for the crib. Yeah, man. I need one of those. You know, and
we're gonna get you one
without me even knowing the greater details of it. Anything that is going to make sure that the air and the surface is clean. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'll keep it a buck. I was raised by what they call a man's man. I mean, a real man. Now, back in the day, what they called a real man is they work on a car with grease on their hands, and their wife hand them a sandwich and they bite it. I mean, so I got some of them old habits. I gotta remember the Sister Robin tell me all the time, you wash your hand, I ain't hear no water. I gotta touch it with my wet hand because you know I be slipping. You know what I mean? And just think about it. All the times that you might slip and the times that somebody else might slip and they touch on a surface.
Mm-hmm.
But this machine is running and sanitizes the surface. Man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, I was raised by these type of guys, man. These guys would sit there with a half pack in their back pocket and put an engine in the car on a Saturday morning. And my mama make me and my brother just sit there. And we be bored as ever. We got tired of playing with the football. We got tired of throwing rocks. And they having a good time drinking old granddad whiskey. And they work on the car. And they raggedy hands, they go right home. They don't wash their hands. But you know, today, they got the same thing going on. The world is moving so fast, and all we got this sanitation. I mean, the sanitizer that everybody use their hand. If you make somebody else make a mistake, you got something in your house that keep your house pure and clean. You can't beat that. I mean, you can't beat
that's
that.
why I've been that's why I've been advertising, you know, at the temple here in Atlanta, the Morris Temple of America, Atlanta Noble Temple 33, because I want people to feel good when they come. You know, I want them to feel like they come into a safe space. Because I see people that come in with the mask, and that's cool. If you got your mask, we don't discourage anybody. In fact, we got masks and sanitizer.
What's the difference between that and an air purifier? Because I see it said Holmes Iodizer, Walmart, $14.98, Honeywell, but I ain't never seen an air purifier clean the surface though.
That's right. They don't clean the surface. What happens with those purifiers? They just have a filter, right? And they just take those filter. One of the popular ones is a HEPA filter, which is plastic, fiberglass, and they catch the environment air and they just filter it, and what comes out is just clean air, right? But remember, that is passive. Our technology, this technology that NASA and the space program use, is active. You know how they said we Moors are not passive, but Moors are what? Active. Well, this is active, pure technology that not only takes the molecules that's in the air that are contaminated, but it treats the air, turns it, remember I said it takes it into a hydrogen peroxide, the H2O2, and in that, those molecules now go out as an offensive and go and look for them microbial and kill it. That's the difference.
So Honeywell, they just catching the air.
That's all. And you hope that it does, none of those microbials will fit through the filter. Now, a lot of them, they can't say that it fits through the filter, and they definitely can't say that it kills SARS, COVID, and other types of pathogens.
I put the link in here, and I don't want to go too much far past, and we're going to bring Brother Akhenaten on again on some more topics, because it seemed like everybody didn't enjoy the brother. So I put the link in here, and the link is also at the bottom of the chat. I know everybody asking for the price on it. I think that you might want to talk to Brother Akhenaten.
Yeah, we worked that because the retail. Do you want me to share the price?
Yeah, it's up to you, my brother.
Yeah, it's listed $1,499. It's $1,499. Let's say $1,500, right? But I have a way to show people how to get it cheaper. That for most people who understand the technology in it, you know what they tell me, Grand Chief? That's cheap.
Yeah, and you know our people. You know our people like when you tell me $14.99, I'm like, man, I might have to go with Reuben Wilkins and go to Home Ionized Walmart $14.98, because that's just the space I am. I don't want Jordans, I want Jumpmans, but Jumpman fall apart at the end of the day.
And that's a good example. But imagine this.
I want Jumpman.
That's right. Hey, Grant, see, that's where our mentality is, and that's where we have to make that shift, because you know where your treasure is, that's where your heart is.
Yeah.
Where your heart is, that's where your treasure is. So we gotta look, how much do people spend money, Grand Chief, on red bottles or the Jordans, like you said? Hundreds of dollars, right? So how do you value your life, which we can't live without air for over 1 minute? You can hold your breath. Some people can't even hold it that long, right? So is that better? So a lot of people make excuses and about what they invest in. So as you know, in my book, it's called I Love Me. So what you do is the litmus test to how much you love yourself.
Hey,
so how much you gonna invest in yourself?
Man, let me tell you something. You talk about, man, let's just use the term like the old folks call cheap. Man, I would cheap something terrible. I'm trying to tell you. I used to love when they had a 2-for-1 cheeseburgers. Man, about 20 years ago, y'all ain't get the double cheeseburger 2-for-1, and then the dollar. When the dollar menu came out, good goodness gracious, I wanted everything. Give me the double cheeseburger. Give me another one. Give me the fry. Give me the nugget. I don't even need a water this time. Go and put a drink on that too. Hey, guess what?
When I was a teenager, I was dead, Grand Chief, so I ain't trust. I know.
What you told me is, wait, what you just said, where your treasure, what you said?
That's where your heart. Where your treasure is, that's where your heart is. Where your heart is, that's where your treasure. Work both ways. That's the litmus test.
A while ago, right? Ultimately, years later, I became a vegan, and to many people, man, if you are not a vegan, then you wouldn't really understand it. But it's expensive. It's very expensive. Like, for example, you can go and get a meal for $10 to feed a family of 3 with some raggedy pig feet, some
That's
raggedy
right.
canned goods, and everybody chubby and fat and sleepy at the end of the day. But $10 does nothing for a vegan meal. I'm telling you,
That's right.
it
Yeah,
does
that's right.
nothing. It's very, very expensive. But guess what is more expensive?
Come
A
on.
life, the pain that
Come
comes with
on. That's right.
the bent over back,
That's right.
heartbeat,
Hey, Grand Chief.
bill. That's more
That's right.
expensive.
That's right. I was going to say, as you point, the hospital bill is making people even sicker today. They have so much pain. You know how much people spend on how to get pain relief? Just the money that they spend to do it. Yeah.
Man, I
Big
rather,
business.
like you said, what you said the machine was, you said it was active and not
That's right.
and
That's
being
right.
to me, it's active. I'm trying to tell you, and I don't try to look, somebody say vegan have health issues weak over time unless spiritually disciplined. Now those are what taught me a long time ago. Those are not vegan, those are starchitarians.
Exactly.
They're eating a lot of starches but not enough vegetables. Vegetables give you energy. Starches can tire you out. That's the difference. You have to
Big difference.
vegetable. Man, before I became a vegan, Akhenaten made that statement because one thing about Akhenaten, he don't try to force anything on anybody, but he made that statement. I'm like, starchitarian, because I got a slick saying too, it's called people demonstrating Chrislam. They say they're into Islam, but they're really Christian. So I call it Chrislam. And so I kind of dug that statement, starchitarian. I'm like, starchitarian. That's somebody that eat a bunch of starches. They ain't eat no vegetables. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that's where those people who call themselves vegetarians, they fall apart because they starchitarians and not vegetarians. Shout out to Akhenaten Salam Bey. Salute the best assistant in the business of uplifting fallen humanity. Islam.
And the other
close, big brother.
Islam, yeah, and just to add on that point.
Hold up. Do y'all want to see Brother Akhenaten come back and break down some more science on health and wellness, history? Press 1. Press 2 if y'all don't want him come back. You know y'all got the choice. If you want him back, press 1. If you want him back, if you don't want him back, press 2. I need to see 1. 1, bring him back. 2, keep him moving. Come on. What you gonna do? We need to hear this. That's right. Put you on the block today. Yeah. Love Queen say, yeah. She hit you with the hood. Yes. That's the hood, yeah. Everybody said, y'all said, big salute, Akhenaten. Yeah. Uh-oh, 1-1-1 up the board. 1-1. We got it. I get Empress the test. Now, Empress the test, she put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. That's a hard one. Empress the test, she hard on me, Akhenaten. Kryptonite said 1. Eccentric said 1. Everybody said 1. King Avery Black said 1. Now, Empress the test, she's hard on me, brother. She hard. 7 ones. So it's a go. Everybody can put shout out to JMS. And my big brother, serving and collecting. He said, Islam to both grand sheiks. That's right. Salute the Ben did the cash in family. I appreciate y'all, family. I'm telling you, let my brother take us out. Brother, any last words you have to say, my brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just in
you, brother.
Huh?
I get a 2 sometime at 9 days.
Praise the Lord. Hey, again, honest to you in this platform. But and another thing I want to say to that brother about the vegans, a lot of people not really holistic in their approach. Another thing I don't normally get a chance a lot to talk about. I used to talk about it in a lot of lectures and workshops that I used to do. And it's important that we understand this. The quality of your foods is key. I'm a proponent of, I'm a proponent of nutritional supplementation. Why? Because you don't know where the quality of the soil that the vegetables come from. You need is a concept that I adopted from a very popular doctor, a mineral doctor, and he's a pathologist, and he's done a lot of autopsies on animals and people, and discovered that there were certain diseases that are associated with a nutritional deficiency. So if we're not getting 90 essential nutrients, that means 60 trace essential minerals. If we're not getting those 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and the essential fatty acids, like you hear people talk about omega-3, omega-6, then your body is nutritionally fractionated. You're not getting wholesome food. So I don't even depend on when I go to the groceries, just because it says organic, don't mean that it is nutritionally dense. It doesn't, because a green vegetable can survive off of the NPK factor, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and it still look green, but you don't know the nutritional value of that particular green food. So it's important to be able to do what we call nutritional supplementation. So I know what the brother talking about, that some people, but the majority is just like the Grand Chief said, they're starchitarians. They don't eat no live green vegetables that are important, that haven't been cooked, because when you cook your food, you denature it. You strip some of the enzymes out, and therefore you can't even digest the actual nutrient that the creator put in it. It's a certain code that the creator put in it. When you apply heat to it, it shifts and changes that molecular structure. So that's why I'm a proponent of eating that and telling people, if you eat cooked food, make sure you got some good live raw vegetables, particularly the green leafy vegetables. So that's some of the things we want to talk about today. And Grand Chief, my closing remark, again, honors and salute to you. I think everybody should be doing a cash app to support this type of programming. The Grand Chief puts himself on the line in a lot of ways, family. And, you know, he's had his life threatened, his family threatened, and he's willing to make the sacrifice for you. So even if $1 is worth it, and those dollars accumulate, which helps him improve the platform. And, you know, some of the people might not know, but I'm going to do a shameless plug. You know, I'm a radio personality. I've been doing radio for over 3 decades now, going on 4, right? And I do a radio program in Atlanta, been there now 36 years, right? 36 years putting out Moorish information. You hear the voice of Tahaka Bay. I've interviewed people like Reverend Valentine, Dick Gregory, Francis Cress Wilson, whole host of them. I had that opportunity, and I still do to this day. So I know what it's the sacrifice that he does to make sure we have a good quality programming. So shameless plug, I'm on, what's this? It's still Monday? Well, I'm on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, I say Wednesday so you don't get it twisted. It's Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, because it's at midnight to 3 a.m. at WRFG 89.3 FM in Atlanta. And we're streaming live at WRFG.org. It's a station that's listener sponsored, so we control it. It's not corporate manipulated and mass media manipulated by a corporate entity. So it's the people, real people station. And that's what we do. Honest Grand Chief. That's right. Night Watch Expressions, family. So tomorrow I'm going to be sharing some more about this this device. I want people to have it. I have some unique ways. If y'all reach out to me, I'm going to show you a way how to get this, how to gift yourself this device for yourself, for your business. I have a way of doing it because I'm an actual wholesale distributor. And so I'm positioned to do that. And I'm building a team. So if you're looking for an extra way of building some economics, business opportunity, and we know that this is to get ahead of the curve. As you heard Grand Sheik talk about water, right? I didn't see that either, but I wish I saw a long time ago about water. Because people making money off of water. I never dreamed I would drink water from a bottle. See, that's how old school I am. I never dreamed that. But now look at us. So what do you think will happen with the air? Why do you think now, as I said, tomorrow is going to be one of the big mainstream media. It has an interview sometime tomorrow at 1. If y'all check it out, I'll post it in my Facebook because I'm looking forward to hearing it too. It's going to get major news coverage. But you know what happens? It's introduced to the mainstream media and the news, and y'all don't know how to get access to it, how to make it affordable to you, or how to get into the money part of it. So yeah, I'm about the money because we got to be, right? That's part of loving yourself, you know? And so we take advantage of this technology. And as I said, anybody, I'm building a business team to create a great business opportunity. This is something for anybody to participate around the world. I'm a business builder, and that's what I love doing, help people make money and economics for themselves and their family. And technology is always my thing. It has always been. I have electronic engineering technology and broadcast degree, and this is all I've been about. This here is some of the things that Grand Sheik, we're going to have to do a different show on that. And this is an AO scan, a body digital analyzer. So you see, we're about technology. You can't have science without technology to complement the science. And that's what we deal with, science. So what this is a bioresonance device. And it scans your body just from your voice. Check that out, because we're all frequency, right? Everything is frequency and vibration. And your voice has a galactic, personal galactic voice print, just like your fingerprint or toe print. And it analyzes. If something is going on in your body, this will pick it up because it's showing you different parts. Every cell in your body has a particular frequency. And then we do just not able to analyze it, we're able to fine tune it. This is what we call frequency imprinting. Downloading this to the cellular level. And this connects with you in the emotional level. So many of us dealing a loving and honors to our ancestor, Nana Patricia Newton, Sekhmet. That's her name. She just made a transition right there in Baltimore about a month ago. Very powerful sister who was a student of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Okay, and she went into psychology with that. But she did a whole treatise on transatlantic post-traumatic slavery disorder. And we all suffering because those stuff are transgenerational. And it's hard to get down to the feelings that have crystallized and become stagnant in our bodies, and then we don't know why we act the way we do. And so this is a means of dealing with that as well. Family, this is what we're about, quantum wellness. This is what the Morris American Muslim of the nobles of noble brethren all about, the Morris Science Temple of America. And I just last plug Grand Sheik, if you're in the Atlanta area, come over and see us. We have our meetings every Friday and Sunday. And if you're in the Atlanta area this coming Sunday, we'll be on set. I got my powerful sister, Moabitis, the TJ Bay, and also on the team. She's a very sympathetic and supporter of the Morris Science Temple, and that's Empress Cordia. And we're all going on this, what they call the Healer's Alchemy. So that's from 3 to 6. The Morris Science Temple will be right there on set. People love what we're doing. And I'm going to have the filtration system, the active pure technology on set, as well as we're going to be helping out people raise their vibration through frequencies. And that's what we do, Grand Sheik. Islam. Again, thank you, family. Thanks for all the ones, family. I look forward to coming back and sharing some more. Peace and love.
Peace
Remember, more love, more life. Pun intended, more love, more life. Remember, family, self-care is self-love. That's what my book is about. Go into my Facebook, you'll see that book as well. It's called I Love Me, the self-care guide. Islam, peace and love.
Islam, appreciate you, brother. So, family, I want to thank y'all, family. That was huge. That was major, family. I appreciate y'all for really sticking around. It's 11:50 on the East Coast, but I want to say this. I have to say some last word. I gotta say his last word. I don't want to go over top of my brother, but I gotta say this, family. See that brother right there? Listen, and I want to let everybody know this, that if you don't have someone around you as sharp or sharper than you, you are really doing yourself a disservice. As you can see, with all the antics and with all the hyper and with all the stuff that you might say, well, what's wrong with this brother? You see who I got around me, don't you? Get yourself somebody that's of equal or greater intelligence around you and stay around them, and y'all build something great together. Anybody of less intelligence, then it's your job to raise them up to your intelligence or even further, and let them take themselves to the next level. So with that, I had to just say that, family. Get yourself a friend. Get yourself a friend, a colleague, or whoever you hanging with, whoever you around. Raise them up to your intelligence if they are of less intelligence. Don't be bashful and say, oh, no. Everybody need to be sharp, because if I fall, I need somebody sharp to lift me up. You follow what I'm saying? And if they are of greater intelligence, then you get your way up towards their intelligence. Get your weight up. Dumb ain't slick. And I'm going to close with that. Dumb ain't slick. And if you ain't a Moorish American, get yourself in the Quran base, Moorish Science Temple of America. I love y'all, family. I'm going to see y'all on